Good morning, Michael. People are gathering up right now. Hello, Michael. Can you hear me? Hello? You are trying to talk, but we cannot hear you right now.
Can you guys hear me?
Yes, we can hear.
Would you like me to start?
Like you're just turning on your microphone, but we cannot hear you right now.
You guys can't still hear me? Is it better now, or you guys can't hear
Yeah,
me?
I can hear you, but it's too low for me, actually. Just a minute.
Give me 1 second.
It is too low, actually.
Does it sound better now?
It's amazing right now. Hello.
Okay, perfect. Perfect.
We're just waiting for our colleagues, one or two.
Sure.
We're gonna be done in
Okay.
minutes. Okay, if you're ready, Michael, we can get going.
Sure. At first, I was under the impression that it's just a brief introduction about Wellspring. I do not think that we have a partnership yet with Global Visions. So do you want me to go through just a brief introduction about myself and about what we do in Wellspring in general? Or
It would
do you
be
want
great.
me to go? Okay. So my name is Michael Francis. I am the regional director of Wellspring International Education in the MENA region. Previously, I used to work with Study Group, and I'm sure you guys are well aware of Study Group. I used to look after the Middle East and Africa, as well as Latin America and North America, and I was in charge of their UK division. Now I've just recently joined Wellspring Education. Wellspring is a bit different, so they're not a pathway provider. We have our own programs, so similar to University Bridge, where students do a 2+2 program, in which they spend the first 2 years at a community college prior to them transferring to university of their choice in the US. We're also partnered with 6 universities as well. We're partnered with University of Arizona, Golden Gate University, Seton Hill, McKinley, Loyola, and Manhattan College. Now, 4 of these universities offer guaranteed scholarships to students. And these scholarships range between 25% all the way up to 45%. Aside from that, we also are partnered with Shoreline and Into, and we act as sub-agents for Shoreline and Into. And there's also an opportunity to apply to these 2 Shoreline and Into schools as well. Now I'll start with a brief presentation on the American Honors and the American Success. I'll guide you through some of the advantages for students to go to community college prior to them starting directly at a university. So just let me share my screen. Can you all see my screen?
Yeah, we can.
Yes.
Perfect. So I'll share a bit information about the American Honors and the American Success. So basically what it is, it's a 2+2 program in which students start off at one of the community colleges that we're partnered with. And then they complete the first 2 years. So they complete year 1 and year 2 at a community college. And then through our network, they're able to transfer to a top university in the US. Now we have 3 locations to where the students can study the American Honors and the American Success. We have 2 on the East Coast and 1 location in the West Coast. So Golden Gate University is located in San Francisco. It's a university where students can study the American Honors or the American Success. We have Community College of Philadelphia in Philadelphia, Pennsylvania, and Union County College in Cranford, New Jersey. And finally, We're partnered with a boarding school, which is Bridgeport International Academy, that offers a high school diploma in addition to 24 to 30 university credits. And then students can transfer to year 2 in either the American Honors or the American Success. Now, what are the benefits of studying at a community college? There are a variety of benefits. The first one is the affordability of a community college. So tuition fees plus accommodation is roughly $30,000, whereas 1 year at a university in the US on average is roughly $35,000. So this is only tuition fees. With accommodation, it accumulates up to between 50 to 55,000. So the way I measure it, 2 years at a community college is almost equivalent to 1 year at a university. And thus they're saving, students and parents are saving almost 1/3 of their tuition fees while studying at a community college. The second benefit of studying at the community college, it's much more flexible. So students can study at various hours. The requirements are much more easier. The paperwork is much more easier. We do not require any SATs. We don't require any personal statements, reference letters, and recommendations. All that we require is their high school transcript, along with an English proficiency test. So we're not as stringent as universities where they only accept either IELTS or TOEFL. We accept IELTS, TOEFL, Duolingo, PTE, as well as ITEP as well. Another reason is the class sizes are much more smaller, and they're much more interactive, which makes it easier for international students to get acquainted with the program. They have more, they get the individualized attention that they need from the proctors. They have more one-on-one sessions with their proctors and their professors as well. Aside from that, students can benefit from our large transfer network. So students who are completing their American offers, upon completion of the program, they're guaranteed 2 conditional offers to either study at New York University or Rochester University. Aside from that, they got application fee waivers, and they got the guaranteed scholarships that I've mentioned as well. Now, students are not limited to transferring to universities within our network. They're also able to transfer to universities outside our network. And we have students transferring to top universities such as Cornell, Penn State, University of California, Berkeley, Stanford, Pepperdine University, all these top ranking universities in the US. Now, the main difference between the American Honors and the American Success is quite simple. The American Honors is a program tailored for highly performed students or highly academic qualified students. So these are students who are seeking a challenge. These are students who are looking to study at the top 50 universities in the US, but did not get the opportunity. And it could be for a variety of reasons. Could be that they've missed the deadline. Could be that they didn't get the scores required for the top 50 university. And hence they get a second opportunity to go study at these top 50 universities. Now the GPA for the American Honors is a 3.25 GPA and IELTS requirement of 6.5. Whereas the American Success Program, it's a bit different. It's tailored for students who require additional academic support and additional English support. The requirements are much more easier to get into, so it's a GPA of 2.0. Whereas the IELTS, we can accept a student with an IELTS grade as low as 3.5. Now, why are our requirements so easy for the American success? First of all, students get additional academic support. Secondly, students with a low IELTS grade or a low TOEFL score, they're able to enroll into a 3-semester intensive English program in order to help them improve their English proficiency before they start the program. Now, aside from that, there are many benefits from the American Honors and the American Success. Each student that enters the program is assigned a success coach. This success coach provides them with the academic advising that they need. So they sit down with the students, they understand what the students want to study, which universities they're aiming to study at, and they design a particular program that helps students with their career ambitions. So for example, if a student wants to study engineering, they sit down with the student, they advise them on what courses and what subjects to take, and then based on their grades and based on their portfolio, they advise the students on which universities they can apply to. We also help the students with their transfer. So the success coaches help the students with their applications to these universities. They help them with their personal statements and their essays, should the university require them. And they also help them with their recommendation letters and reference letters. Aside from that, in order to enhance the student's portfolio, there are leadership and professional development classes. So aside from the classes that they take in terms of academics, there is additional classes that they take, such as leadership, mentorship, and professional development classes that these students take in order to enhance their portfolios and make their applications stand out than the remaining students. We do transfer seminars. And what we mean by transfer seminars is we gather all the students, those that are seeking to transfer to universities, we gather them, and we show them how to use our portal and how to use and how to create an application and how to enhance their applications to make them more legible to apply to the top 100 and the top 50 universities in the US. We also have an inclusive community. So any student joining the American Honors and the American Success, they'll be able to integrate with other students at the community college. So it's not like the pathway providers where students go and sit and study at a particular building and they're not included within the university community. No, all these students, they all study together. The students have access to the library and they have access to all the facilities on campus. Now, the way it starts is once a student applies, they apply through the agent portal. We receive their data. So we review their application. We make sure that their documents are all the documents have been submitted. We review that the student is eligible for admissions. Then we send their application to the community college. Once the community college receives the application, they either accept or reject the student. Should the student be accepted or rejected, you'll be notified by an email. Once a student is accepted, the student receives their acceptance letter. Should they accept it, they then start applying for housing. Our admissions officers or the admissions officers at the community college will help the student with the housing, with the travel arrival services. So there'll be a pickup service for the student. Someone from the community college will pick the student from the airport. Should there be any additional exams that they need to take, the community college will arrange for these additional placement exams. Upon arrival, there'll be an orientation for the students. The students will be oriented with the city. They'll be oriented with where the housing is, where the accommodation is, what buses that they need to take to get into the city, how to get to campus from the accommodation, where are the local restaurants, where is the local groceries, and so on. Once they arrive onto campus, there'll be an orientation for the students on campus. They will also help them with their course registration. Each of the students, as I mentioned, will be assigned a success coach that will mentor them and advise them, and will mentor their progress throughout the 2 years. And upon reaching the second year at the community college and at their program, the success coach will help these students with their transfers, and then they'll be able to transfer and complete their bachelor degree at a university of their choice. Now, a bit about the community colleges. Now, the Community College of Philadelphia is one of the largest community colleges in Philadelphia, and it's the 6th largest in Pennsylvania. There's a total of roughly 32,000 students studying at the community college. It's a pretty vibrant campus with more than 200 international students from 50 different countries. The closest airport is Philadelphia International Airport. However, students can fly into New York and Boston, which is roughly an hour and an hour and a half away from Philadelphia. Now accommodation is off campus. There's no dorms on campus. Accommodation is usually off campus, and it's roughly between 15 to 20 minutes away from campus. And it's a pretty much short walk from campus. Roughly, as I mentioned, 10, 15, up to 20 minutes walk from campus. Now, in terms of tuition fees, as I mentioned, tuition fees will not be more than $30,000. So the college tuition fees is roughly $12,500. We take a college fee of almost $1,500. There's a program fee of $1,500. Health insurance is $1,300. Books is $1,200. Room and board is roughly $9,770. Other costs is $750, which totals to an estimate cost of roughly $28,384. Now, there are 3 intakes for the American Honors and the American Success. There's a fall, spring, and summer semester. There are deadlines. So for the fall, it's in late June. For the spring, it's in late November. And for the summer, it's in early May. Now, in terms of the academic requirements, as I mentioned, the American Success has a lower requirement than the American Honors. So it's a 2.0 GPA, or what is equivalent to a 2.0 GPA. And we take an IELTS score of less than 6, a TOEFL score of less than 77, ITEP score of less than 4.5, PTE less than 49, and Duolingo less than 59. Now, for the American Honors, it's a bit more rigorous. It's GPA of 3.25 and the scores of 77 in the TOEFL and above, 6 and above in the IELTS, ITP score of 4.5 and above, PTE score of 49 and above, and a Duolingo score of 59 and above. And as I've mentioned previously, for the American Success, we offer a 3-semester intensive English language program prior to their studies, depending on their level in English. So their students can take a 1 semester or 2 semesters or up to 3 semesters intensive English. Now, Union County College is a bit more smaller community college. There are roughly 12,000 students studying at the community college. The community college offers more than 60 programs on 4 different campuses with students from 83 countries. So it's a much more multicultural university. The campus is roughly 30 minutes away by train from New York. It's quite close to Philadelphia and Boston as well. The closest airport is Newark International Airport, which is roughly 20 kilometers away from the campus. Accommodation is also off campus, and it's roughly a 5 to 10 minute walk away from campus. Now, same requirements. Same academic requirements. However, the intakes differ, so there are only 2 intakes, fall and spring. Tuition fees is a bit more expensive at Union County College. So college tuition fee is roughly $14,000. We don't take any college fee, but there's a program fee. There's a program fee of $1,000. Health insurance, books, enrollment board roughly accumulate to another $14,000, which gives you a total estimated expense of $30,000. Now, Bridgeport International Academy is a bit different, as I've mentioned. So Bridgeport International Academy is a boarding school that offers a high school diploma in addition to 24 to 30 university credits. Thus, a student entering at Bridgeport International Academy completes their first year at university and they graduate with a high school diploma. They're able to transfer into the second year of their bachelor degree at a university of their choice. Or if they would prefer, they would transfer to the second year at the community college before transferring to the university of their choice. Bridgeport International Academy is located in bordering Long Island, which is roughly an hour away from New York City. Tuition fees is roughly $45,000. Accommodation, which is boarding accommodation, is roughly $10,000, accumulating to a total expense of $55,000. The Academy offers scholarships to highly academic students that range between 10% all the way up to 40% of the tuition fees. Now, Bridgeport International Academy is able to take students from grades 9 all the way until grade 12. So students that want to study in the US, they want to graduate with a high school diploma, they're able to transfer and study from grades 9 all the way until grade 12. So it's not just limited to students who want to complete grade 12 at Bridgeport International Academy. The school, accepts students from, as I mentioned, from grades 9 all the way.
Sorry, Michael. Sorry to interrupt.
Sure.
May I just ask you about the colleges and universities?
Sure.
For example, top 100 universities and colleges and their tuition fees.
Mm-hmm.
Because it will be our main point probably. This is why they will be our focal points. So it would be great for us to get to know them.
Sure. So as I mentioned, they're able to transfer to any university in the US. Usually tuition fees start from roughly $20,000 all the way up to $45,000 and $50,000, depending on the program and depending on the university itself.
Okay, so can you also like, are you working with all 100 top 100 colleges and universities too, or
Yes.
do you have some kind of agreements? I mean, some kind of off sale.
So we do have some
scholarship.
agreements. So we do have some agreements with some universities. For example, we have an agreement with Seton Hill, McKinley, University of Illinois, and Manhattan College that offers student scholarships, as I mentioned, between 25 all the way up to 45%. So these are guaranteed scholarships for any of our students, regardless of their grades and regardless of their scores. As long as they're accepted into the university, they're offered these scholarships, and these scholarships remain throughout their studies. So for the 4 years of their studies, they're guaranteed this particular scholarship. Now, other universities, depending on their grades, other universities would offer students a scholarship. So for example, Arizona University, upon entry into the university, depending on their grades, the university offers the students a scholarship. So we can offer them a partial scholarship of between 15% all the way up to 50% and 55% of their tuition fees.
Oh, okay. Can I also ask about the top community colleges and their tuition fees, for example? Can you give us examples to get a deeper insight about the issue, like fees and all?
About the community colleges themselves or the universities?
The community colleges, especially.
So the community colleges that we operate with are the three that I've just mentioned. And these three won't be more than $30,000. Now, other community colleges in the US, their tuition fees are slightly less expensive. And they start from 15,000 all the way up to 20,000.
Okay.
So in terms of average tuition fees for community colleges, I would say between 15 to 20,000. And accommodation, I would say between 7,000 all the way up to 15,000 as well. So there might be slightly cheaper community colleges. I would say roughly between 5 to 10,000, around 5 to 10,000 less.
Hello, Michael. This is Deniz.
Yes. Hi, Deniz. How are you?
Hi, Deniz. How are you? I'm good. Thank you very much for joining us today. Actually, just to make a point to our counselors, actually, Wellspring, as far as I know, Michael, you are operating in 3 community colleges.
Yes.
And you do the community college 2 years. Community college or ESL side, and after that, you transfer the students to the top US universities from the third.
That is correct.
That is correct. Yeah. So basically, we will recruit the students to you for the community colleges, 2 years community colleges, which you already mentioned. And the cost, as Kubilay asked, is you say around starting from 15,000 US dollars. So this is I am making sure that the counselors, really understand the case. We will place the students to Wellspring for community college, guys. The community colleges. So we should learn those 3 community colleges very well. What programs they are offering, the accommodation options, as Kubilay asked, the cost. So, and we will mention our students and families, parents, look, let me send your kids for 2 years colleges with the less cost, with as a easy acceptance, and also the community college will pay more attention to your kids. But after that, there is guarantee that from the 3rd year, they will go one of the best US universities. And first 2 years, they will pay less money. This is the main points of community colleges in the USA.
That is correct, but aside from the community colleges, we also do direct admissions.
Okay,
So what I mean by direct admissions is we are partnered with the University of Arizona. So we recruit for their undergraduate and their postgraduate programs. We also are partnered with University of Loyola, Manhattan College, Seton Hill, and McKendree, and we also recruit for both their undergraduate and postgraduate programs. And for those that are eligible for direct entry into the undergraduate programs, the students, as I mentioned, are eligible for a scholarship of between 15%, 25%, all the way up to 50%. Now, the tuition fees for these universities are roughly between $35,000 up to $45,000. Without the scholarships, and they drop down to 20,000 and between 25,000 to 30,000 with these scholarships. So this is a great opportunity for students who meet the academic requirements for these universities to study for the next 4 years with a scholarship as high as 50%.
What type of scholarships you have? Could you just explain?
So these are academic scholarships. So for Manhattan College, Seton Hill, McKendree, and Loyola, these are academic scholarships. But these are scholarships offered to any student studying at the university through us, regardless of their grade. So as long as they're accepted, they receive this scholarship. For the University of Arizona, they offer their own scholarships, and they offer two types. They offer academic scholarships, and they offer as well athletic scholarships, depending on the student's athletic performance. So there are universities that we partner with that offers scholarships automatically, and there are other universities like Arizona that offers their own scholarships. So this scholarship is coming out of the scholarships for Seton Hill, McKendree, Loyola, and Manhattan College is coming out of us. So we offer the scholarship too. So Wellspring offers that scholarship.
Michael,
Yes.
Michael, is it possible to get? I mean, I'm just on my way, so Kubilay, or you can send to Kubilay. Is it possible to get the full list of the universities that you are operating and community colleges and their cost plus the program?
Yes.
I'm sure you have.
Yes. I'll show you. So all this information will be on our agent portal. So once I'm done with this presentation, the next thing is I'll show you the agent portal, like all the universities that we're partnered with, the programs that we're partnered with, how to submit an application, and whatnot.
And also, I would be very happy to email to me and Kubilay as well the agency agreement. So I should sign this.
Yes, definitely. So I'll send you the agent agreement following this training.
Yeah. Okay.
We'll sign it. I'll also create the credentials on the agent portal, so you guys can go and access it and see it for yourself.
Okay. Perfect. Thank you.
You are more than welcome. Now, this is some of the universities that the students were able to transfer to upon completing either the American Honors or the American Success Program. So as you can see, lots of names of highly ranked universities, such as Cornell, University of Rochester, Pepperdine University, Michigan State, Tulane, University of Denver, Gonza University. So these are all universities that are among the top 50, among the top 100, among the top 100. And we've conducted a statistic recently, and we measured the performance of our students, those that were able to transfer to these universities. And we found out that roughly 80% of our American honor students made it to the top 50 universities in the US. Roughly 95% made it to the top 100, and 98% made it to the top 200 universities in the US. And this is how strong and rigorous our program is. And this is how we ensure that students who study at these programs enter into the universities of their choices.
Actually, those are pretty good statistics. And can
They're
you
pretty
also,
good numbers here.
yeah, also, can you also adhere this number to the email? And also, I wrote my email to the chat.
Sure.
And all the scholarship opportunities would be great to know for us, again, apart from the prices. Thank you.
Definitely. Now, in terms of the application, as I mentioned, we have our own school portal. This is the link to access the portal. All the applications are submitted to the portal. I'll walk you through the portal once I'm done with this presentation. Once the application is submitted, it will be reviewed by us. So we have our own admissions team that reviews the application. We make sure all the documents have been submitted. The student is eligible for an admissions before we send it to the school. Once it's been sent to the school will issue a rejection or an acceptance. Once the student is accepted, they'll receive an email. So you will receive an email as well as the student with their acceptance or their rejection. And then a representative from Wellspring, so an admissions officer from Wellspring, will then follow up with the student and the agent on the next step. So we'll follow up with the issuance of the I-20. We'll help the student or the agent book the accommodation. We'll help them through the traveling, which airport to fly into. We'll help them with their pickup as well. And then we'll get them acquainted once they get onto campus. Now, in terms of requirements, it's pretty easy. All we require, as I've mentioned, is the high school transcript and an English proficiency score. The application wouldn't take more than 10 minutes. So you start off with creating an application for a student. You enter the student's details. Once that's created, you upload all the documents of the student, and then you apply for a particular program or a particular university, and you select the semester for the term that the student wants to study at, and then you submit the application. Now, finally, we have a unique opportunity as well for students. We offer student loans of up to $50,000 for students who want to complete their studies at the community college. They can take a student loan of up to $50,000, and once they transfer to the university of their choice, they're able to take an additional loan to complete their bachelor degree at the university of their choice. Now, Empower Financing is partnered with a couple of universities in our network, so it's not offered to all the universities. We offer Empower Financing with all the community colleges, as well as Manhattan College, Golden Gate, Seton Hill, and McKinsey. You'll also find on the agent portal a list of the universities that offers Empower Financing. Now, this comes to the end of the presentations. Do you happen to have any questions before I take you through a walkthrough through the agent portal. Does anyone have any questions, or is there anything that I need to clarify once again?
I think I have a question about Turkish
Sure.
students. Do you have, and if you have, what is the percentage of them? Apart from that, I also wonder about the nationality mix of your institute.
So for the community colleges, I'm not 100% sure about the breakdown. I can definitely find out for you the breakdown of the nationalities, but bear in mind that the community colleges, a majority of the students are white. So these will be American students studying at the community colleges. We did have, however, a couple of international students. So there are students coming from Asia, so from China, Vietnam, as well as India. There are a couple of Latin American students as well. We have a couple of Arab students studying at the community colleges, so students coming from the Middle East. I'm not 100% sure about how many we have from Turkey, but I would say there will be like a handful of students coming from Turkey. But I wouldn't know the exact numbers, to be honest.
Excellent.
But I can definitely find out.
Thank you, Michael. Thank you.
You're more than welcome.
I think, Michael, after really digesting this presentation, we should do another one next month because we will do within us, we will do another training about the Wellspring when we get the agent portal information.
Sure, that can be done.
We can go more details in the next presentation because, you know, it takes time sometimes to really digest a school program. And some of our academic counselors, they just start a month ago. So they really also learning. So let's keep in touch. As you see,
sure, definitely.
You got my email. Thank you very much.
Who should I send the agreement to? Kublai, or should I send it to you?
Actually, both of us. UCC. Kublai gave you the email. I think on the screen.
Yes.
And you also got my email. You can send both of us. And also you can share the agent portal information now.
Okay, perfect.
Thank you, Michael. Thank you.
You're more than welcome.
I will keep the counselors a little bit more. I will do a brief summary to them, what we did with you. Okay, thank you, Michael.
You're more than welcome. Have a great day.
Remember again, Michael, I wrote 2 emails there, so you can CC me and send email to Mr. Dennis, and thanks a lot for the presentation.
You're more than welcome.
Bye. Çocuklar, gençler tekrar günaydın. Ya güzeldi. Ben hani tam katılamadım. Şimdi aşı olacağım. Oraya geldim. Ama güzel bir okula benziyor, değil mi? Güzel bir program.
Sunduğu şeyler var, evet Deniz Bey. Aslında
sizin de yabancı olduğunuz bir konuda bayağı güzel bir şey yaptı, sunum yaptı, öyle gördüm. 3 tane anladığım benim, yani kesik katılabildim ama yani sitesine de baktım. 3 tane community college'de eğitim veriyor. Yani aktif eğitim orada veriyor. Hangileriydi onlar? Hangi eyaletlerdeydi? Bir tek birini Philadelphia'dakini anladım.
Evet, ben de onu fark etmiştim Deniz Bey, Philadelphia'daki.
3 tane dedi ama diğerleri nerede? Yoksa bir tane mi?
3 tane diyor, onları göstermedi Deniz Bey. Sanırım bu attığı flyer'ların içerisinde olacak.
Tamam. Bir tek o Philadelphia'dakini gördük. Bu ne yapıyor? 2 şey yapıyor. Bir, community college'inde 2 yıl eğitim veriyor dediğim gibi. Sonra 3. seneyi top 100'deki, top 200'deki üniversitelere 3 ve 4 için transfer yapıyor. İkincisi de direkt Arizona Üniversitesi, o Sutton Hill Üniversitesi gibi üniversitelere de direkt başvuru alıyor. Ve aynı zamanda da orada burs kısmı da olsa burs çıkartabiliyor. Şimdi agent portalını alalım. Tamam mı? Oradan bir ara yine detaylara bakarız. Ama burada öğrenmiş olduğunuz şey şu olmalı. Amerikan üniversitelerine özellikle lisans eğitimine nasıl giriş yapılıyor? Bir direkt giriş var. Bir de community college üzerinden giriş var. Bunu sanırım şey için community college entry requirements'larını söyledi mi? Kaç TOEFL istiyorlar, işte bir not ortalaması falan istiyor.
Evet, evet.
Söyledim. 6,5 demişti.
6,5 olamaz community college. Bir de
American Success ve Honors olarak gidiyor.
Tamam, onları da sonra öğreniriz ama community college'ler genelde 5,5 alır çocuklar. Bir de ikinci şeyi de bir sesi kapat, arkadan ses ver. Bir de ikinci bir şey dikkatimi çekti. Community college fiyatını biraz yüksek söyledi. 15-20 bin dolar falan dedi. Genelde community college'ler yanlış şey yapmıyorsak 12, bilemedin 13 bin dolardır. Onları da yine kontrol edelim.
Deniz Bey, tuition'u o kadar, o birazcık toplu fiyat veriyor sanırım. Burada ben not aldım onları.
Tam,
Orta falan da var.
Olabilir belki şeyler vardır. Ama burada ana fikir, tekrar söylüyorum. Community college sistemiyle üniversitelere geçiş ve direkt başvuru ile gidiş. Bunu zaten Into'da da göreceksiniz, Kaplan'da da göreceksiniz. Yani yavaş yavaş alışacaksınız. Fakat bir şey daha rica edeceğim. Özellikle bu tür complicate okullarda öncesinde web sitesinden çalışın biraz. Ve ortak sorular hazırlayın. Yani bir diğeriniz sorularla sunumları zenginleştirin ve hani şeyde gerçekten de merak ettiğiniz konuları tespit edin, öğrenilmesi gereken. Onları şey yapın. Yani güzel bir şeydi, yani sunumdu ve dediğim gibi community college ve direkt girişe çalışalım. Bir sonrakinde kim var şimdi?
Alican Bey var, Deniz Bey.
Alican için söylemiştim. Travas yerine daha çok TUSOM, Toronto School of Management ve neydi diğeri?
Fleming College Toronto.
Fleming College'e. Çok iyi bir çalışma yapalım. Bak, vizeler çıkıyor. TUSOM'a, özellikle TUSOM'daki digital ve IT programlarına ve Fleming'dekilere de çok iyi çalışalım. Arkadaşlara bakın, eski danışman arkadaşlar. Eda, sen örneğin bu sunumlar esnasında öğrenmelerini sağlıyor musun? Yani back to basic yapıyor musun? Şimdi sen mesela konuya hakimsin. Advanced sorular sorabilirsin ama advanced sorular yeni arkadaşlara çok yardımcı olmuyor. Tam tersi kafalarını karıştırıyor. Anlatabiliyor muyum?
Daha çok somutlaştırmaya çalışıyorum
Bravo.
anlatırken
Back to
onlar.
basic. Yani back to basic yapacaksın. Yani dün mesela neydi sunum yapan arkadaş Levent. Yani teknik terimler vesaireler kullandıkça arkadaşların kafası karışır. Danışman arkadaşlar senin gibi hep back to basic yaptıracak. Unutmayın diyecek. Burada yeni arkadaşlar var ve onların kafasına yatacak şekilde, anlayacakları şekilde. Önce ne yapıyorsun? Şimdi hemen gel. Çocuklar, aşıdayım ben. Hemen şey yapıyorum. Toplantıdayım. Çocuklar siz devam edin, tamam mı? Bu şekilde hazırlanın. Ben yine Alihan ofise mi geliyor Alican?
Evet, Deniz Bey ofise geliyor.
Tamam. Hadi görüşürüz. Ben bir aşı yaptırayım.
Geçmiş olsun.
Aşılarınızı olun.
Görüşürüz Deniz Bey.
Covid aşılarınızı yaptırın tekrar. Bak yine patlayabilir. Tamam, hadi bakalım.